So, speaking of sin, do you believe on both sides that if we don't follow your particular religion or faith, that we would go to hell? A person would go to hell?
So, from my upbringing and my understanding of the Quran, no. There's a verse in chapter 2, verse 62 that says, Christians, Jews, believers, anyone who believes in God, believes in the day of judgment, and does good on earth has no fear, and God will reward them in the hereafter.
Well, I would just want to say, like, what if I don't believe in the Quran? So, does that put me in a place where I am going to hell on your view?
No, because the verse doesn't say you have to believe in the Quran. It says you have to believe in God and believe in the day of judgment and do good on earth.
But Christians, you wouldn't be considered a Christian if you believe, if they were to believe in your God. So you see what I'm getting at? Because Christians are people who, the word Christian is a follower of Christ. In other words, a person that believes in the triune God, a person who serves the triune God. So how can you be called a Christian, but then serving Allah? Doesn't make sense, and that means you're not a Christian. So where do we bridge that gap?
I guess it differs on opinions because from my perspective, it's the same God.
I wanted to speak to the prompt about hell. I sometimes have had like conversations with Muslims, and they seem to kind of, I guess, shy away from the fact that hell is in their text, and that's okay because it's in our text too. And so they try to paint this picture that, oh no, it's not there. But I did some research, and I found out that the Quran actually talks about hell and mentions hell more times than the New Testament mentions hell. One verse that comes to mind is Surah 98:6. It says that the polytheist and those that subscribe to the book, something along those lines, they will be in hell because they're the lowest of creatures. So I think what helps gaps not be bridged is when there's like kind of this veiling of truth. There's a lot of text in the Quran that mention hell for people that do not believe, especially shirk. For me, putting my faith and trust in Jesus Christ, on your belief, I'm going to hell. And so we have that in our text as well, and that's what makes a distinction between our faiths. That's one of the things that makes a distinction.